The NFL Combine coverage continues on Vikings.com. We've got Tom Pelissero with the NFL Network. I don't feel like I need to even introduce you. Our fans know you so well. This Vikings free agency period is about to begin. We're 2 weeks heading in. You're an insider. How is it looking? What are you feeling around the Vikings free agency?
Well, the Vikings have a lot of things that they're going to need to figure out here. I mean, start with the fact that their entire starting secondary is a free agent. You still got to figure out the status of Harrison Smith. You've still got to look on the offensive side, Aaron Jones being a free agent. And oh yeah, you got a 27-year-old Pro Bowl quarterback coming off his best year on a one-year contract. That's really where it begins for the Vikings, is figuring out the Sam Darnold piece, because all options at this point, as I've been saying for weeks, are really still on the table here. You could potentially do a deal that's sort of a bridge contract, but a little bit more of a commitment to keep Sam Darnold here, gives J.J. McCarthy another year to grow. You could potentially franchise tag him. That could be to try to work out a deal, to have him play 1 year on the tag, or even to do a tag and trade. There's not another top quarterback out there, certainly not one who's 27 years old, and so Vikings have to consider all the options here. There's no precedent for letting the guy at that stage of his career, coming off a 14-win season where those last two games notwithstanding, he played his best football, and just letting him walk for a future compensatory pick. That's sort of what they got to sort through. I know this, that the focus for Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell is all about how do we make sure that we can build a championship caliber roster around whoever is playing quarterback. And just like a year ago with Kirk Cousins, there may come a number and a point at which they simply don't feel like they can go there. And so there's still a lot of moving parts here. Daniel Jones is a part of the equation as well. And we'll know in the next 6 days the tag piece, because the deadline's next Tuesday.
Yes, Kwesi actually described it as a brain teaser, but a good one at that. You know, to have this problem. I guess it's not really a problem. It's a good problem to have. There we go. Yeah, brain teaser. That's what my brain is doing right now. No, when you look at the free agency market in general, where can the Vikings find the most value that maybe is not there in the draft right now?
Well, there's a lot of good running backs in the draft, but I know they want to get Aaron Jones back. It's probably not going to be one of the league leaders in carries again, but certainly he's such a great guy. I know he's 30 years old and he's had some injuries, and he had the fumbling issue last year when he was wearing that pad to protect his ribs, and it didn't really fit, and it was causing the ball to come loose. I don't know if he ever talked about that, but
not too much. No,
that's what he told me. It was related to a pad that he was wearing that had kind of a notch on it, and then after that he played great football.
Yes.
So they want that guy to be a part of the program. I don't think any of these running backs are going to get paid huge money. You're going to have to weigh out, though. Again, you got limited cap dollars to spend, and are you better off drafting somebody? But they're going to make a push to get Aaron Jones back. There's not a lot of receivers in the market, which is good, because the Vikings don't really need wide receivers. Tight end position, they're fairly well stacked. I believe they got to figure out Johnny Munt.
It's a loaded room.
And his future there. The interior offensive line, they've talked about that. Yeah. There's not a ton of those guys. Not a ton that are going to get paid like at the top of the market. And so it might be some of those second-tier type guys that you get a little bit better value on. Those might be the type of guys that they target on the interior. And then it's really, again, about the secondary. There's a handful of corners who are going to get big money. I would anticipate Byron Murphy is one of those guys. At the safety position, Cam Bynum's going to do pretty well too. I would think, again, these are guys they would love to come back, but you can't re-sign everybody. And if you bring back Darnold, it's going to be harder to bring back some of those other guys. And these are all the different puzzle pieces that have to fit together as we move forward here. But I would say the biggest thing, it's not even so much about upgrading, it's about the reality that you don't have any of your starters, and you can count Josh Metellus as a starter, but the other guys, Bynum, Murphy, Gilmore, and Harrison Smith and Shaq Griffin, they're all up, or Harrison's got a decision to make here. That's a lot of potential turnover, albeit for a coach in Brian Flores who has shown he can plug in a lot of different dudes and make it work.
Yeah, I mean, how significant was it to be able to retain him?
I think it was huge for the Vikings. It's one more year of being able to build it, and that's what Flores told me after he interviewed, was just like, I'm already thinking about next season, and that's how he's wired. He's all ball. I know how fired up he gets on the sideline. It's a lot of fun to watch, and you're gonna be able to watch him again here.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom, for your time.
You got it.
Appreciate it.